back here today, another video over here on SCS Combat, and today we are going to be talking about the biggest women's boxing event in the history of the sport. Biggest women's card there's ever been. Kay Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3 in Madison Square Garden in New York, live on Netflix. Absolutely huge fight. So we're gonna start off. There's 6 championship fights on this card, and we're just gonna give my picks for all of them. So starting off, we have the newly signed member of Most Valuable Promotions MVP, Chantel Cameron. She's best known for beating Kay Taylor, obviously, in their first fight. Since then she's lost to Kay Taylor and then signed with Frank Warren to try and get the trilogy with Katie. She went the WBC route and got the interim title. She's fighting Jessica Kamara. Jessica Kamara is coming off the back of it's a draw against Caroline Dubois, but realistically it's a loss. She got knocked down and then the fight got stopped because of a cut due to head clash, but her head was already battered on the other side as well. So my guess is she would have got knocked out in that fight. Based off their last performances, obviously Chantel Cameron's coming off the back of technically winning the world title, interim title. Jessica Kamara's out there getting beat. Chantel Cameron's good, strong hitter, tough fighter, as you seen in the Kay Taylor fights. The way Kay Taylor beat her was just loads of combinations with a really high pace. Then Chantel even took over in the last couple of rounds, but it wasn't enough to get the job done. I'm going to go for Chantel Cameron to defend her title here and possibly get a late stoppage against Jessica Kamara and look to go towards the winner of the trilogy between Kay Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Moving on, we have Sugar Neeks Johnson against Sharada Metcalf. Done my research on these two fighters here. Metcalf being 14-4-1, she's 2 knockouts. Sugar Neeks Johnson is 17-2. And this fight will be for the undisputed bantamweight world titles. So look, from what I say to Metcalf, likes to use her jab and her range. She's a longer fighter, so likes to keep it at range. She won her last fight, I believe. From what I've seen of Sugar Neeks, shorter fighter compared to Metcalf, but good at coming in and getting into that distance and landing big shots. I'm gonna pick Sugar Neeks for this fight, just from what I've seen from Metcalf. I do think with the fighter persistent enough. I know her last opponent was doing good in the first round with getting in, and I think Sugar Neeks is a level above and she'll be able to keep that up and keep getting in and keep getting at her. I'm gonna go decision for Sugar Neeks. Continuing on, another new signee to Most Valuable Promotions over there with Jake Paul and Nikisa, Ali Scottney. She's taking on Yamalith Mercado. Ali Scottney, 10-0 undefeated. Doesn't seem to have any knockouts here by the look of this poster. Yamalith Mercado is 24-3 with 5 knockouts. This is for the unified super bantamweight titles. I'm gonna go with Ali Scottney here. Yamalith Mercado, I've seen one of her last fights and it was like very come forward war type thing. I think compared to Ali Scottney's last performance, she unified the IBF and the WBO, I believe, in the Ring magazine. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ali Scottney. Great fighter, great come forward. Even if she doesn't have the knockouts on the record, you can tell physically the way she walked down her last opponent and just kept hitting and just kept throwing. She's a great fighter. Very smart boxer as well, very good shot selection in her last fight. So I'm gonna go with Ali Scottney here to take the decision win, keep those unified titles. Moving on, another new signee, MVP, fighting another MVP fighter. We've got an MVP fight here. This is Savannah Marshall against Sadisha Green. So this is also for the unified super middleweight titles. Marshall 13-1 with 10 knockouts. Sadisha Green is 15-1 with 11 knockouts. Compared to the rest of the card here, these are the punchers of the night. Sadisha Green's only loss came against Franchon de Cruz. Savannah Marshall's only loss came to Clarissa Shields. I see Savannah Marshall being able to win this fight by using her reach. She's a longer fighter, whether it be by, I think she's gonna outbox her. I mean, if you look over there with the team, I believe she's still with Peter Fury. So great boxing mind there. Sadisha Green, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure her last fight was close. I'm gonna go with Marshall just on form here, and whether it be by late stoppage or once again decision. But I think with that power, if she gets the range and starts pinging Sadisha Green with a 1-1-2, she's a good hook on her as well. She's knocked out people with that before. I think you could possibly be looking at a late stoppage for Savannah Marshall here. So the next fight that we're gonna look at here is the co-main event, Alicia Baumgartner against Jennifer Miranda. So Jennifer Miranda is 12-0 with 1 knockout, pretty brutal knockout to be fair, and Alicia got Baumgartner's 15-1 with 7 knockouts. Miranda is a longer, rangier fighter. She's very tall, very well built, as Alicia Baumgartner is as well. If you look at her previous fights, obviously Alicia Baumgartner has struggled with longer fighters. If you look at Michaela Mayer, bigger, longer fighter, 12-0. 1 knockout. She does seem to hit hard enough. I couldn't find any fight footage of her. I could only find I found one knockout, which is her only knockout, and then I found some pads footage. She seems like a strong hitter. I'm gonna go with Alicia Baumgartner to win this one, and then probably, probably got better getting inside. She obviously had a lot of time off to work on things. Obviously got more power as well. So maybe she finds the chin of her opponent with that overhand, Moving on to the main event. Obviously highly anticipated this one. There's no doubt that it has created the best women's boxing event there has ever been. The GOAT, the GOAT of women's boxing. Katie Taylor taking on Amanda Serrano for the third time. Now, there may be a bit of bias in this one, but I'll try and explain, I'll give good reasoning. Obviously their first fight, Katie Taylor outboxed her, in my opinion. I think I give Katie Taylor the first 3 rounds. Amanda Serrano 4, 5, 6. I think I give 7 a draw, and then I give Katie Taylor the last 3. So, Katie Taylor won it technically 6-4, or yeah, whatever way, because it's a draw round 5-4 to 1. So that's why I had the first fight. I think I had Katie Taylor win the second fight as well, unlike a lot of people. Unfortunately, when I watch boxing, I don't just score it off punches landed. In terms of age, I believe Amanda Serrano to be 36. Katie Taylor to be 39. So coming towards the end of the career for Katie Taylor, I don't know about Serrano. Even if she loses this fight, I think she's going to try and continue, because if Katie does retire, she will be the biggest name and probably the best fighter as well. There's no arguing here. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are the 2 best women's fighters in the world. Katie Taylor 24-1 with 6 knockouts. Not the hardest hitter in the world, but sharp, accurate puncher. I think accuracy is the biggest thing in this fight, and we'll get on to my reason why in a second. Amanda Serrano 47-3 in 1, 31 knockouts, so a huge puncher. Obviously she's come up in weight her last couple of fights to take on Katie Taylor. This is going to be for the undisputed super lightweight titles, 140 pound. If Katie Taylor can withstand one more fight like they've had, and her chin is there, and her body can move. You look at Katie Taylor in these fights, a lot of circling, a lot of movement, and then when she needs to, she'll trade. I think if Katie Taylor's legs can still move, she can still use that footwork to circle Serrano and walk around the punches, and her chin holds up, I do think Katie Taylor will outbox Amanda Serrano to another decision victory in this fight. Obviously the biggest thing for Serrano, finishing the job this time. Realistically, if she's going to win, she can outbox, she can win on decision. A lot of people did think she won the last fight. In my mind, there's no way she won the first fight. The second fight was obviously way closer, but Katie Taylor still beat her 6-4 with 1 point deducted unanimously. The biggest thing I see in these 2 fights is Katie Taylor learned. Obviously she got hurt in the first round in their last fight, but then she boxed the 9 other rounds and was alright. She got hurt in 1 round in the first fight, round 5, and boxed the rest of the rounds and was alright. The biggest thing for me is the footwork and the shot selection of Katie Taylor and the defense of Amanda Serrano. Although Amanda Serrano walks forward and throws every punch in the book, unbelievable puncher, obviously with the power, she's a great fighter. In my opinion, the biggest hole in her game is her defense. When you look at these first 2 fights, you can't deny that Amanda Serrano has probably been hit with that left hook about 500 times and doesn't see it coming every time. I do think Katie Taylor is going to do the same thing in this fight. I think she's going to outbox her, and use the holes in Serrano's defense to land huge combinations that, even though they mightn't hurt Serrano as much as Katie can get hurt, they are very appealing to the eye of the judges. I do think Katie Taylor's going to beat her via decision. That is my pick. Katie Taylor bring all the belts back home and potentially retire at this fight. Who knows? Katie Taylor will beat Amanda Serrano for the 3rd time to go on a 3-peat and defend her titles once again at Madison Square Garden. Follow me on all platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram. That's it. All right.